Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Hello everyone, my name is Cahyarani Triayu Hanifah.
And my name is Najwa Djafira Haurani.
And today we will explain about our material of advanced listening from skill 1 to skill 27.
Oke, langsung aja ke skill yang pertama. The first skill is focus on the last line. The short dialogues involve conversation between two people, each followed by a question. It is important to understand that the answer to this type of question is most often, but not always, found in the last line of the conversation. Anyway, in each skill, I will give two examples. Okay, the first example is the man said, Billy really made a big mistake this time, and the woman said, yes, he forgot to turn in his research paper. What does the woman say about Billy? The answer is D. He didn't remember to submit his assignment. Forgot it means didn't remember, and submit and and research paper is submit his assignment. Next, the second example is this one. The woman said, was anyone at home at Barb's house when you went there to deliver the package? The man said, I rang the bell, but no one answered. What does the man imply? The answer is B. The house was probably empty because no one answered. No one answered. It means empty. Let's begin to the second skill. It is choose answers with synonyms. Often the correct answer in a short dialogue is an answer that contains synonyms. Words with similar meanings but different sounds were keywords in the conversation. The first example is the woman said, why is Barbara feeling so happy? The man said, she just started working in a real estate agency. What does the man say about Barbara? The answer is B. She began a new job. Started, it means began, and working, it means job. And the next example is this one. The man said, was the concert well received? And the woman said, the audience applauded for a long time after the performance. What does the woman say about the concert? The answer is C. The people clapped on and on after the concert. Applauded, it means clapped, and for a long time is on and on. Next to the skill 3 is avoid similar sounds. Often the incorrect answers in the short dialogues are answers that contain words with similar sounds but very different meanings from what you hear on the recording. You should definitely avoid these answers. The first example is the man said, why couldn't Mark come with us? The woman said, he was searching for a new apartment. What does the woman say about Mark? The answer is B, because searching is looking and apartment is place to live. Searching have similar sound with research and church, and apartment has similar sound with department and appointment. The next example is number 1. The woman said, I heard that Sally just moved into a new big house near the beach. The man said, but Sally doesn't have a cent. What does the man mean? The answer is C. Sally has no money. Doesn't have, it means has no, and cent is money. Next to the skill 4. Draw conclusions about who, what, where. The first example is the woman said, "Can you tell me what assignment I missed when I was absent from your class?" The man said, "You missed one homework assignment and a quiz." Who is the man? The answer is teacher. Karena newspaper editor gak mungkin lokasinya di kelas, dan a police officer gak mungkin melakukan homework, dan a student itu mungkin untuk mengerjakan tapi belum tentu untuk membuat quiz. So the answer is a teacher. Ini salah satu contoh dari yang who. Kemudian ada contoh yang what. The woman said, "Are you going to read those books here in the library?" The man said, "I think I'd rather check them out now and take them home." What will the man probably do next? The answer is D. Go through the circulation desk. Check them out now. It means circulation desk. Next is where example. The woman said, "Are you going into the water, or are you just going to lie there on the sand?" The man said, "I think I need to put on some suntan lotion." Where does this conversation probably take place? The answer is at the beach, because in here uh, have water, sand as suntan lotion. Nggak mungkin kalau di beauty salon atau di sandbox atau di restoran. And next is the last example in this skill. The man said, "I'd like to deposit this check in my account, please." And the woman said, "Would you like any cash back?" Who is the woman? The answer is an accountant, because she asked cash back to the man. Next, okay, blank for the second. Okay, next is skill 5. Listen for who and what in passive. It is sometimes difficult to understand who or what is doing the action in a passive sentence. This problem is often tested in the short dialogues. The first example is the man said, "Did Sally go to the bank this morning?" The woman said, "Yes, she did. She got a new checking account." What does the woman imply? The answer is C. A new checking account opened. Was opened. And next, this is the man said, "Did you hear the news about the child who was lost in the park?" The woman said, "Yes, and I heard that she was just found." What does the woman mean? The um, the answer is A. Someone located the girl, because she was just found. Next to the skills 6. Oh my god, udah kelewat. Okay, the skill 6 is listen for who and what with multiple nouns. When there is more than one noun in a sentence in the short dialogues, it is common for the answers to confuse which noun does what. The first example is the man said, "Do you know who is in the band now?" The woman's answer, "I heard that Mara replaced Robert in the band." What does the woman say about the band? The answer is Mara took Robert's place in the band. Next, this is the man said, "Why is Paul going back home this summer?" And the woman answered, "He's returning to Vermont for his sister's wedding." What does the woman mean? The answer is Paul's sister. The answer is, wait a second. Gantiin. Oh, the answer is C. Paul will be there when his sister gets married this summer, I guess. Let's begin to the next skill. It's skill 7. Wait a second. Oke, di sini ada banyak listeningnya ya, teman-teman. Kejap ya. Okay, next to the skill 7. Listen for negative expression. Negative expressions are very common in short dialogues, and the most common kind of correct response to a negative statement is a positive statement containing a word with an opposite meaning. The first example is the man said, "How did they get to their grandmother's house in Maine in only 5 hours?" And the woman answered, "They didn't drive slowly on the trip to Maine." What does the woman say about the trip? The answer is A. They drove rather quickly. Didn't slowly, it means quickly. Mm, next, next example, this one. The man said, I can't seem to get the door unlocked." The woman said, "That isn't the right key for the door." What does the woman mean? The answer is C. The man has the wrong key. Mhm. Next is skill 8. Listen for double negative expression. It is possible for two negative ideas to appear in one sentence, and the result can be quite confusing. The first example is the man said, "I can't believe the news that I heard about the concert." The woman said, "Well, it isn't impossible for the concert to take place." What does the woman say about the concert? The answer is C. The concert might take place. It's not impossible, it means might. Next. Okay, this one. The woman said, how was your history exam?" The man answer, I did not study enough, so I didn't do well. What does the man mean? The answer is uh, D. His grade was poor because of inadequate preparation. Next, to skill 9. Listen for almost negative expression. Certain expressions in English have almost negative meanings. These expressions are common in the short dialogues. The first example is, the woman said, were you able to pay the electric bill? The man answered, I had barely enough money. What does the man imply? The answer is C. He paid the bill but has no money left. Barely enough, it means has no money left. Next, the next example in number 1 is, the woman said, have you gotten over your cold yet? The man answered, I couldn't be feeling any better today. What does the man mean? The answer is, he's a bit better today. Okay, next to the skill 11. But wait a second. Wait. Okay, next. Skill 11 is listen for expressions of agreement. Expressions of agreement are common in the short dialogues, so you should become familiar with them. The following example shows agreement with a positive statement. The first example is, the man said, I think that the hypothesis is indefensible. And the woman said, so do I. What does the woman mean? The answer is D. She agrees with the man. The expression so do I is an expression that shows agreement with a positive statement. So the woman means that she agrees with the man. Next example. The woman said, I don't think that our history teacher is very interesting. And the man said, neither do I. What does the man mean? The answer is C. He shares the woman's opinion. The expression neither do I is an expression that shows agreement with a negative statement. So the man shares the woman's opinion. Next, this one. The man said, I think that both candidates for county supervisor are unqualified. And the woman said, me too, Narata. What does the woman mean? It The answer is A. She agrees with the man because me too in if we see in the context berarti lebih ke negatif meaningnya gitu. Next to the skill 12. Listen for expressions of uncertainty and suggestion. Expressions of uncertainty and suggestion are common in the short dialogues, so you should become familiar with them. The following example shows an expression of uncertainty. The first The first example is the man said, "Do you know anything about the final exam in physics?" And the woman said, "It's going to be rather difficult, isn't it?" What does the woman mean? The answer is C. She thinks that it might be hard. The wait, the isn't it in the question? Change a definite statement into a statement that shows uncertainty, so the best answer is one that expresses uncertainty. And other expression is the man said, "I'll never have time to type my paper tomorrow." The woman said, "Why not do it now?" What does the woman suggest? The answer is A. Finishing the paper today. Because why not do it now? It means finishing today. Now it means today. Do it now is today. Next, number two. The woman said, "I'm so thirsty from all this walking." And the man said, "Let's stop and get a drink." What does the man suggest? The answer is D. They should take a break and have a drink. Because stop it means take a break and get a drink it means have a drink. Next, skill 13. Listen for emphatic expression of surprise. The first example, the woman said, "Did you see Paul driving around in his Mustang?" And the man said, "Then he did get a new car." What had the man thought? The answer is D. Paul would not get a new car. In this dialogue, the emphatic form "he did get" is used to show the man's surprise that Paul got a new car. It means that the man expected that Paul would not get a new car. Last example in the skill 13 is this one. The man said, "I just got 600 on the TOEFL test." And the woman said, "Then you did pass." What had the woman assumed? The answer is A. The man had not passed because did pass it mean pass, lulus. But karena di sini kebalikannya jadi ya had not passed. Next to the skill 14.
So for the 14th skill, will be explained by me. And so yeah, let's get started. For the skill 14, we have listen for wishes. The conversations about wishes can appear in the short dialogues. The important idea to remember about wishes is that a wish implies that the opposite of the wish is true. For example, on the recording you hear woman say, "It's too bad that you have to stay here and work during the school break." And the man say, "I really wish I could go with you and the other to Palm Spring." And the narrator say, "What does the man mean?" In your textbook or on the computer screen, you read, the correct answer is B. He is unable to go on the trip. Uh, why? The example is, in this dialogue, the man wishes that he could go with the others on the trip. So the implied meaning is that he is unable to go. The correct answer is therefore answer B. The following chart outlines the key points that you should know about wishes. Scroll. Terlalu ke atas. Terlalu ke bawah. Apa sih kelebihan? Okay. The following chart outlines the key points that you should know about wishes is key informations about wishes, its point. An affirmative wish implies a negative reality. A negative wish implies an affirmative reality. For example, I wish I had time to help. I wish I did not have time to help. The meaning is not time to help or time to help. A past tense verb implies a present reality. For example, I wish he were at home. The meaning is not at home. A past perfect tense verb implies a past reality. For example, I wish he had been at home. The meaning is was not at home. Remember that where is used instead of was in wishes. I wish I were going. So the exercise, the first one is, do you think we'll be able to have the picnic today? The woman say, I wish the sky weren't so cloudy. The narrator said, what does the woman mean? So the correct answer is the sky weren't so cloudy. So the sky is because the woman say, I wish the sky weren't so cloudy. So the meaning is the sky is too cloudy. So the correct answer is C. Next is number 2. The woman say, did you enjoy the Thanksgiving dinner? And the man say, I wish I hadn't eaten so much. The narrator say, what does the man mean? So the man say, I wish I hadn't eaten so much. So the meaning is he thinks he is eating a lot. So the correct answer is also C. The third one is the man say, are you coming to the party tonight? And the woman say, I wish I could. The narrator say, what does the woman mean? So the woman say, I wish I could. So the meaning is she is not coming to the party. The right answer is D. So the next one is skill 15. For skill 15, we learn about listen for untrue conditions. Conversations containing conditions can appear in the short dialogues. The important idea to remember about conditions is that a condition implies that the opposite of the conditions is true. For example, on the recording you hear the man say, do you think that you'll be able to go to the party? The woman say, if I had time, I would go. The narrator say, what does the woman say about the party? And the answer is D. It's impossible to go. The reason is, in these questions, the conditions, if I had time, implies that the opposite is true. The woman does not have time for the party, so it is impossible to go. Therefore, the best answer to this question is D. Next to the exercise, the first one is the man say, "Are you going to have something to eat?" And the woman say, "If the food look fresh, I will out some. Sorry, I will eat some." And narrator say, "What does the woman say?" So the woman say, "If the food look fresh." The opposite about this meaning is uh, the food is not fresh, right? So the correct answer is she is not going to eat. Why? Because the food looks not fresh. The second question is the woman say the flight must have taken longer than usual. The man say had the flight left on time, we would not have arrived so late. And the narrator say what does the man say about the flight? So the man say had the flight left on time, we would not have arrived so late. So it means the flight is it departed late. So the correct answer is D. The third question is man. The man say, "Are you sure you want to go out? You do not seem to be feeling very well." The woman say, "If there were some aspirin in the medicine cabinet, I will not need to go to the drugstore." Narrator say, what does the woman mean? So the woman say, "If there were some aspirin in the medicine cabinet." There's mean the fact is they don't have aspirin in the cabinet. So the correct answer is D. Sorry. The correct answer is it is the correct answer is C. It is necessary to get some aspirin. For skill 16, we will learn about listen for 2 and 3 part verbs. 2 and 3 part verbs appear in some questions in the short dialogues. These verbs are expressions to include a verb and one or more particles, such as in, on, or at. The particle changes the meaning of the verb. Questions involving 2 and 3 part verbs can be difficult for student because the additions of the particle change the meaning of the verbs in an idiomatic way. For example, on the recording you hear, the man say, what time does the meeting start?" And the woman say, "Didn't you hear that it was called off by the director?" And the narrator say, what does the woman say about the meeting? The correct answer is D. The director cancelled the meeting. Why? In these questions, the two-part verbs called off has a different meaning from the verb call, which means phone. The two-part verb call off mean cancel, so the best answer is D. We're gonna move into the exercise. So the first questions, the first exercise, the man say, "Did you have your history exam today?" And the woman say, "No, the professor put it off for another work." The narrator say, what does the woman say about the exam? The woman say, "No, the professor put it off for another week." So the correct answer is B. The professor cancelled it because the professor put it off. It was cancelled and change into another week. The second one is the woman say, "Do we have any more soap?" And the man say, "We ran out of it. Someone will have to go to the store." And the narrator say, "What does the man mean?" So the man is, "We run out of it." So it means they don't have soap. So the correct answer is C. There is no more soap because we're run out of it means they don't have any soap in yeah in uh, in their place. We move to skill 17. Listen for idioms. Idioms appear in some questions in the short dialogues. Idioms are special expressions in a language that all speakers of the language know. These special expressions describe one situations in life but are applied to many different areas of life. Idiom questions can be difficult for students because they seem to be describing one situations when they are really describing a different situations. For example, on the recording, you hear the man say, "Tom is a full-time student and is holding down in a full-time job." The woman say, he's really burning the candle at both ends." And the narrator say, "What does the woman say about Tom?" The correct answer is C. He is doing too much. The example is the explanations is in these questions the idioms burning the candle at both ends has nothing to do with candles and nothing to do with burning or fires. So the answer A, B, and D are not correct. Instead, this idiom is an expression that is used in situations when someone is trying to do more than he or she really can do. After all, a candle usually only burns at one end. So, a candle that burns at two ends is doing too much. Therefore, the best answer to the questions above is C. We move to the exercise. Okay. In the exercise, the men say, "I have to take advanced biology from Professor Stanton next semester." The woman say, "Don't worry about it. It's a piece of cake." And another say, "What does the woman mean?" So, a piece of cake is an idiom for it's a very easy thing. So, the correct answer is the D. The curse is easy because a piece of cake it's a very easy things like that. We move to sorry, we ran out of the skill. Okay. We move to skill 18. To skill 18. Anticipate the topics. It is very helpful to your overall comprehensions if you know what topics to expect in the long conversations. You should therefore try to anticipate the topic you will be hearing. For example, are the conversations about some aspect of school life or some type of social issue or a trip someone is planning? A helpful strategy is therefore to look briefly at the answer in the textbook before you actually hear the conversations on the recording and try to determine the topic of the conversation that you will hear. So, for the skill 19, we will learn anticipate the questions. Sorry, wait. It is very helpful to your ability to answer individual questions with long conversations if you can anticipate what the questions will be and listen specifically for the answer to those questions. For example, in your textbook you read, in the airport, in the library, in the dormitory, in the travel agent's office. You try to anticipate the questions. Where does the conversations probably take place? So, in this example, you can be quite certain that one of the questions will be about where the conversation takes place. Since you are sure that this is one of the questions, you can listen carefully for clues that will give you the answer. This example shows that a helpful strategy is therefore to look briefly at the answer in the textbook before you actually hear the conversations on the recording and try to determine the questions that you will be asked to answer. We move to the exercise. We move to the
Yeah.
exercise. We move to the exercise number 1. The question is, what does someone want to do? In this one, you have to anticipate the questions. So, find work on campus, work in the employment office, help student find job, or ask the woman questions. Because the questions is, what does someone want to do? It means there are two or some people who want to do something. So it probably, the answer is probably in the correct answer is maybe the correct answer is A. Find work on campus because the question is, what does someone want to do? We move to skill 20. Ini udah lu scroll belum sih? Oh, udah. For skill 20, determine the topic. As you listen to each long conversations, you should be thinking about the topic subject or main idea for each conversations. Since the first one or two sentences generally give the topic, you should be asking yourself what the topic is while you are listening carefully to the first part of the conversations. Example, on the recording you hear, the man say, "You can't believe what I just got." The woman say, "I bet you got the new car you've always wanted." And the man say, "Now, how in the world did you figure that out?" You think the topic of the conversations is the new car that the man just got. So, we move to skill 21. In skill 21, we will draw conclusions about who, what, when, and where. As you listen to each long conversations, you should be trying to set situations in your mind. You should be thinking the following thoughts. Who is talking? When does the conversation probably take place? Where does the conversation probably take place? And what is the source of information for the conversations? For example, on the recording, you will hear the man say, "Why do you have so many books?" The woman say, "I need them for my paper on George Washington. Do you know how I can check them out?" And the man say, "Yes, you should go downstairs in the circulations desk and fill out a card for each book." You think, who is probably talking? Where are they? And what course are they discussing? And the answer is who is probably talking is to student. Where are they is probably in the library. And what course are they discussing? It's for American history. We move to the skill 22. For this skill, you will learn about listen for answer in order. There are two possible methods to use while you listen to long conversations. The first, you can just listen to the conversations and ignore the answer. And the two is you can follow along with the answer while you listen. Some students prefer to just listen to the conversations while it is being spoken. And if that method works well for you, then that is what you should do. Other students find that they can answer more questions correctly if they read along with the answer while the conversation is being spoken. Because the detailed questions are answered in order, it is possible to read along while you listen to the conversations on the recording. So, when you read the answer to the first questions, you can anticipate that the first questions is what type of account. As you listen, you determine that the woman wants a checking account. Therefore, you can anticipate that the best answer for the first questions is A. When you read the answer to the second questions, you can anticipate that the second question is going to ask what things. In the conversations, the man asks her to fill out a form and show some identifications. So, as you are listening, you can anticipate that the correct answer to the second question is either A or C. When you hear the questions, you can determine that the best answer is C. We move to skill 23. So the next skill is we will learn about anticipate the topics. It is very helpful to your overall comprehensions if you know what topics to expect in the long talks. You should therefore try to anticipate the topics that you will be hearing, as you did with the long conversations. For example, are the talks about American history or literature or some aspect of school life? A helpful strategy is therefore to look briefly at the answer in the textbook before you actually hear the talks on the recording and try to determine the topics of the talk that you will hear. So we will move to the skill 24. That, that. In this skill, you will learn about anticipate the questions. It is very helpful to your ability to answer individual questions with the long talks if you can anticipate what the question will be and listen specifically for the answer to those questions as you did with long conversations. For example, in your task book, you will read for 3 weeks, for 3 days, for 3 months, and for 3 hours. You try to anticipate the questions. How long does something last? In this example, you can be quite certain that one of the questions will be about how long something lasts. Since you are sure that this is one of the questions, you can listen carefully for clues that will give you the answer. This example shows that a helpful strategy is therefore to look briefly at the answer in the task book before you actually hear the talks on the recording and try to determine the questions that you will be asked to answer. We will move to the skill 25. So, in this skill, you will learn about determine the topic. As you listen to each long talk, you should be thinking about the topic, subject, or main ideas for the talk as you did with the long conversations. Since the first sentence is generally a topic sentence, you should be asking yourself what the topic is while you are listening carefully to the first part of the talk. For example, on the recording, you will hear man say the major earthquake that occurred east of Los Angeles in 1971 is still affecting the economy of the area today. You will think the topic of the talk is the effect of the 1971 earthquake on Los Angeles today. So, we will move to the skill 26. In this skill, you will learn about draw conclusions about who, what, when, and where. As you listen to each talk, you should be trying to set the situations in your mind, as you did with the long conversations. You should be thinking the following thought, like who is talking, when does the talk probably take place, where does the talk probably take place, what course is the talk concerned with, and what is the source of information for the talk. For example, on the recording, you will hear the woman say, "The next stop on our tour of Atlanta will be the original home of Coca-Cola at 107 Marietta Street. Coca-Cola was manufactured at these locations until early in September of 1888. You will think, who is probably talking? And the answer is probably a tour guide. Where are they? And the answer is probably in Atlanta. And when does the tour take place? It probably in the middle of a tour. We will move to the skill 27. This skill is the last skill of our listen and learning today. So, in this skill, you will learn about listen for answer in order. There are two possible methods to use while you listen to the talk. The one is you can just listen to the talk and ignore the answer, or you can follow along with the answer while you listen. Some students prefer to just listen to the talk while it is being spoken, and if that method works well for you, then that is what you should do. Other students find that they can answer more questions correctly if they read along with the answer while the talk is being given. Because the detailed questions are answered in order, it is possible to read along while you listen to the talk on the recording. For example, on the recording, you will hear when you read the answer to the first questions, you can anticipate that the first questions where did something happen? As you listen, you determine that the fire began in Mr. O'Leary barn. Therefore, you can anticipate that the best answer to the first questions is A. If you read the answer to the second questions, you while you listen to the talk, you can determine that the answer is A, C, or D. And true, answer B is not true. The fire did not begin in the summer. It began in October, which is in autumn. Therefore, answer B is the best answer to the questions which of the following is not true about the Great Chicago Fire. So that's all about our learning skill from 1 to 27. I, I hope you guys can be learn uh, from what our explanation is. So thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.